What would happen if you paused on all the action? Quit the stress and need no caption. Give your Instagram vacation. Yeah, work on your patience. Yeah, but you ain't basing. Yeah, yeah. Cause I love some music, but I just can't do it. So I took a little break on the west side. Now I'm waking up late on my best side.
Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. And as y'all can tell by the title, today we are discussing some things as we get my pre-K graduate gifts together. I have been the pre-K teacher this whole year, and I have, out of my 9 kids, 7 are graduating into kindergarten next year. 1 is graduating into a different pre-K, and then 1 is not graduating at all. But we are gonna get their gifts together and talk some life changes, because if you saw the title, I am getting a promotion slash not going to the daycare anymore. I don't know, there's a whole to do. We gotta talk about it, but let's get into it. I'm gonna show you guys everything I got for their gifts, and then we're gonna start putting it together. And everything is from Amazon. We got these bags, these like rainbow bags, and every kid's gonna get a different color. Probably not every kid, obviously, because there's not as many colors as kids, but we'll figure that out when we get there. And then I have graduation cards. These 2 I've picked out for my sisters because they are graduating 5th grade. And then I have all of these for my class. And this is such a cute little like pack. And then they're blank on the inside, so I'm gonna fill it up with my big writing. And then I got these cards for, at first I didn't know that the one that's going into a different pre-K, I didn't know they were graduating at first. So I got these because I had 2 kids in my class that weren't graduating. I didn't want them not to get a gift. And so I bought these because of that, but they're just really cute, like kid-friendly cards. Like, you're one cool bean, you're very wonderful, you walk my world, just cute cards. So the only one that's gonna get it is the one kid that's not graduating. And then I got these cute bracelets. Okay, so first, for my graduates, let me find, because I have a boy and a girl one, so let me find, okay, perfect, these 2. Okay, so for my girls, I only have 2 girls in my class, which is so sad, oh my goodness. So these 2 go together, preschool grad, and I couldn't find one that said pre-K, but this one says, I'm so proud of the amazing job you did during this school year. You're the stars in the sky and always give us many reasons to love you. Have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. And then for my boys, I'm gonna leave them in this pre-pack, but it's this. And so it's a dinosaur bracelet, and it says, to an amazing boy on his graduation day. It says, you learned, you laughed, you worked, you played. You made a lot of friends and had a lot of fun. Congratulations, grad. Keep exploring, keep dreaming. We are so proud of you. You guys, it's so unreal that they're graduating. Like, my little babies, I've literally taken pictures from the first day to the last day, and they literally look like babies when we started in August, and now they are all so grown, so tall, so mature. And I know kids are not mature, but like, they've just grown so much, not even just like schoolwork and like curriculum and all the things we do in reading and writing and all the things, but they've grown so much with even just like their communication skills, and it literally makes me so sad. I've made the most of this year because I knew that it was probably gonna be my only year being the pre-K teacher, and I made the most out of it. We had so much fun, and even though I'm getting really burnt out, like not even gonna lie y'all, I'm getting very burnt out and very stressed with this class because they're just having issues recently, but I cannot wait to see what all they accomplish, and I'm so excited for all the ones that are going to kindergarten. I can't talk too long or I'm gonna start bawling my eyes out. And then for the ones that weren't graduating, I got just these little dinosaur bracelets, and like I said, I only have the one now, and then the other ones I guess I'll just save in case in the future or anything. And then the last thing I got is literally the cutest thing ever, but I did forget to buy pictures, so I need to get on my phone and order Walgreens pictures. But it's these little picture frames. It says pre-K graduation 2026, and then I was gonna put, we did pictures, like graduation pictures for all of our graduates, so I thought about putting a picture of their graduation picture, but, or like a copy of their graduation picture, but Miss Judy is the one who did those, and all the parents bought a bunch of those, so I'm gonna do pictures, like my favorite picture of them throughout the whole app, because throughout the year we posted pictures on the app for parents. So I'm gonna go through and pick my favorite picture and print it in here, and it's gonna be more recent than not, but I think it will just be really cute. I mean, I may do something fun, I don't know. That's my thought right now, but obviously we may change it. And then these are just going to the just the pre-K graduates. It's not going to my one that's going to a different pre-K, because technically he's a preschool graduate, even though he's in the pre-K class. Yeah, you know. So these are only going to my 7 that are actually graduating pre-K and going into kindergarten. You guys, I'm so happy, I'm so sad, I'm so everything. Okay, let's get into it. First, I'm gonna start writing cards, and we're just gonna talk, y'all, because the last like life update I did on here was when we talked like after college things. And honestly, a lot of things have not changed, but a lot of things have changed. So let's get into it. As you can tell by the last video, I got my own apartment, and honestly, I'm loving it so much. I feel like it gives me so much energy. Like, I love my family, but having such a big family to go home to after working with kids, and like having 5 younger siblings that are still like hitting puberty, going through all the changes in life, I feel like it's so hard to go from an overstimulating job, an overwhelming job, a stressful job. Like, daycare's just not easy. And then going home to just a loud house, a house that's full of love, but it's just chaotic. Like, having so many kids is just chaotic, y'all. Like, I feel like my mental space is so much clearer. I feel like mentally I'm doing so much better, and I absolutely love it. And then I am getting a promotion. So I've been working at my parents' daycare since they've had this daycare since October 2020, and I've worked basically on and off the whole time. Like, and when I say off, it's because I've been at college. And so I've worked there on and off for the last 5 years. And then before that, they were the directors of a church daycare, like a daycare in a church. And I worked there since I was 15, and then had been around it my whole life. So I've worked in childcare since I was 15, but this center since I was 17, right? 18? Something like that, I don't know. But I've worked here for so long that it's actually crazy that my pre-K class, like some of the ones in my pre-K class have literally been at this daycare since we opened, which is actually insane. And I love that I get the privilege of saying that I was their pre-K teacher, because every single year we've had a different pre-K teacher. Like, they've literally stayed through the year and then left for the summer, and then like just haven't really returned, you know. But basically what's happening is my parents are opening another daycare in Jeff City. Technically the other one is kind of in Jeff City, it's kind of in Taos, but they're opening a new center in Jeff City. And they actually bought the building that I grew up in, that the other daycare was in, and it's actually kind of like full circle. Like, God is so good. God knows everything. He is totally in the details with this purchase and with this new building and new daycare and everything. But I'm getting a promotion, and we are opening up the 18th of May, and I will be the on-site manager, on-site director. I would say assistant director is honestly more of the title, but it's on-site manager is basically what it is. And it's really exciting. At first, we're not starting with a ton of kids, but that's kind of what daycare is. You start small, and then you get all the kids through like word of mouth and all of the things. And so I'm super excited because, like I already said, like I've been super burnt out, and like working with your parents is not always easy, but then also working in childcare is not easy. And I've had a rough like 2 to 3 months of just like being mentally exhausted. And I feel like this change, I feel like it's going to help me so much mentally, physically, just all the things. I feel like it's gonna be a reset, and I think it's really gonna help me understand like if I am doing this forever or not, because I've never wanted to stay in Jeff City my whole life. I've never wanted to do daycare my whole life. And now that I am out of college and doing it full time, I definitely have the passion, and it is helping me be financially stable. But it's like I need to kind of figure out like, is this what I wanna do and just continue to do Sage Apparel and other things on the side? Or is it something that I want to do until I feel basically the push from God to move? But it is really exciting. I'm so happy to be in management, like how I will be. I've always kind of been in management, but definitely not like with a title or anything. And so it's really nice that I'm getting a title now, but also I am able to kind of grow with this new business and help my parents out in that way. And so I'm just super excited. Let me stop jabbing on because we need to get this together. Okay, basically, right now I'm filming this, it's Sunday, May 10th. I'm not sure when I'll put it up because I think I want to wait till the daycare is actually opened to make this announcement. But I need all this stuff done hopefully by tomorrow because we have been practicing our songs for the program. The program and graduation is on Wednesday. And during the last song is when they're taking these, and I'm gonna hopefully get roses for moms. And they're gonna take these to their parents during that song. So we're gonna start practicing with them tomorrow, which means I need to put that Walgreens order in right now. So let's do the cards first, I've been talking a lot. If you guys have questions or anything, please let me know. I'm pretty much an open book about all of this stuff, but it is super nice. Like, I just feel like I'm ready for the change. Like, it's not a huge move, of course, but I'm just very excited. Okay, you guys, I am done with one of them, and I can't decide if I'm gonna write the exact same thing in all of them or if I'm gonna change it up. But for this one, I wrote, have fun at kindergarten. I have loved having you in my class. Your smile and laugh are contagious, and you are such a good friend to our classmates. You are so smart, and I can't wait to see all you accomplish at Big Kid School. Part of me just wants to write the same thing for all of them because I do honestly think this is literally all of my class. Like, my class, honestly, the recent month, they have been crazy, but honestly, it's because a few of my kids have such crazy home lives, and you can just tell they all know what's coming up. They all know they're going to kindergarten. They know the changes that are coming. They don't know Miss Ashlynne's leaving, but they do know that there are going to be so many changes. Most of them have already gone to kindergarten, like ready days and all of that stuff, and so they're all like getting excited, impatient, all the things, but behavior has just gone up. But when we were at our best, okay, when we were at our best, like, and everybody has days, everybody has good days, bad days, all the things, and good moments and bad moments, but literally I love every single kid in my class. Even the one that is graduating, like, technically in preschool, he joined our class in like probably December, and I have loved getting to know him. And it's so funny to see their personalities because some of these kids like used to be so shy or used to be this or that. Like, I had one that came from a different daycare in January, and I thought at the beginning was like the smartest one. I was like, oh my gosh, like he's smarter than all my kids. Like, what are they doing over there? And then I shortly learned, like soon after that, I was like, oh, okay, so I guess he knows like a couple things, but like not everything. Like, there was just so many things that each of my kids have grown into, and I love all their smiles when they real smile, and all their laughs are so stinging and contagious. And so I think I'm just gonna write the same thing in all of them. And then for the one that's going to a different pre-K, I'll probably say have fun at pre-K because he's literally going to a different pre-kindergarten. And then the one that's not graduating, I probably will just say have fun next year. I'm gonna do this quickly because I have been talking a lot. And then I have plain white cards for the graduation ones. The non-graduation ones are these. And then I have these little stickers that I may or may not use because I don't have stickers for the other ones. I'm gonna finish up the cards and then I will talk to you guys. Basically today, we are figuring out what kid gets what color and putting their card and their bracelet in the bag. and then I'm gonna order the Walgreens, and I may be able to go get the pictures like this evening, or I may just get them tomorrow and put those frames, because the frames don't even fit in these bags, let's be so for real. So I may just do in the bags, I may get like a candy, do the bracelets, do the cards, and then just give those to parents. And maybe I will just leave them like that and not do a picture, even though I think it'd be fun. But I'm gonna finish the cards and then I'll be back. Okay, you guys, I finally finished all of the cards. I decided to put the girls and the non-graduates in these little things, but then the boys I would keep in theirs. And then I decided that I'm gonna leave these in the package because I would love to do a pretty picture in it, especially because I feel like I have so many good pictures of them. But it does say pre-K grad, and so part of me is like, I'll just give it to the parents because I already bought them, and let them do whatever they want with it. If they want to put one of the pictures they bought from Miss Judy, great. If they don't, cool. But this is just gonna go to the pre-K grads. And so that's everything for now. I am gonna go get candy, but that's something I can literally add like day of. So now it is time. I'm trying to remember all of their favorite colors, but Miss Ashlynne can't remember everybody's. I do know that 2 of my boys love red, so I'm gonna do theirs red. And I'm probably gonna do my 2 girls purple, and then the other boys I'll kind of mix and match. Okay, so these are 2 graduates. Let's see if I can remember all the names. Okay, so this one is going in here. And basically for the cards, I did write pretty much the same message. I changed a couple of wordings throughout, but basically I wrote the same thing in all of theirs. Because the front of the card is already different enough, and then none of them, because we're giving them to the graduate families at graduation, like none of them are gonna be reading them in front of each other, so I didn't really care. And then I also did write the cards for my sisters. I cannot believe they're graduating 5th grade. Like, it's actually insane. Like, I think I'm more teary-eyed about them than my pre-K class, even though it's still crazy that my pre-K class is graduating. Like, it's kind of all over the place. But, okay, let me find their little frames. Okay, they're right here. This one is this one. And I'm basically, for now, I'm just gonna leave everything like kind of on my table maybe, and then take it to work with me. I don't really know how I wanna do this. Maybe I should just do it by color. Okay, so red is done. Next I'm gonna do my girls, and they're both gonna be purple. And I'm pretty sure one of them says pink is their favorite color and one of them says purple, and I don't have pink, so we're gonna call it a day. I will say one thing that I have like been so proud of my kids in learning is their name papers. So all year we've done name papers, and it's basically they have to trace their first and last name 3 times on the paper. They never have to write it themselves if they like don't want to. Like, I've never made any of my kids write their own names because half of them don't know how, and then some of them do good with like 1 letter or 2 letters. And I think I only have like 2 kids that actually know how to write their whole name. Because even one kid, he has a 6-letter name and he can write the first 3 letters but not the last 3. And I think it's so funny because he has an X and a T together, and he writes the X like a T but doesn't know how to write the T. And it's kind of funny, but I am so proud of like how well they've done. Like, at the beginning, there were so many of my kids that couldn't write their name papers by themselves. They needed so much help. And it was like, dude, like, I love y'all, but I should not have to help you still. Like, it was just this pool of like, you've literally had amazing pre-K teachers all years. None of them have been the same, but you've had good pre-K teachers. Why am I having to reteach stuff? And it's not a bad thing per se. It was just making me really frustrated that some of my kids just couldn't do it. And I will say some of them are different levels of things, like with how smart they are, they're on different levels of reading and writing and stuff. But I am so proud of all my kids. Like, all of them know how to do their name papers with no help now. Like, literally, it's just so nice to see that they're learning and they're growing. I would say that's probably the biggest thing, is they can all do their name papers with no help. They also don't scribble as much anymore because Miss Ashlynn's made it a rule now. I'm like, y'all cannot keep scribbling because it was just getting to be too much. Because literally it was on every single paper they would scribble, and I'm like, y'all go to preschool, or no, y'all go to, what's the word? You guys go to kindergarten, and they're not gonna be letting you act like that. Like, you gotta do your best. But I will say, my class is just really smart. Like, I just have such smart kids. And even the ones that are not as quick to learn things, they are so smart. Like, literally, I have one kid, the one that's going to pre-K, like going to a different pre-K. He literally was the quietest kid before he came to my class. And since he's come to my class, he's definitely came out of his shell. And he is so smart. This whole week, y'all, we've been in May for how long? Literally 10 days. That means a week and a half of me asking them, because we go over our calendar, a week and a half of me asking them what the day or what the month is. Tell me how these kids are not getting it right. Tell me how he's the only one. I'd be like, okay, what's our month of the year? January, February, April. Y'all, we literally talked about this. And then we'll see the song. What's our month of the year song? January, February. You know, we'd see the song and they would still get it wrong. And I'm like, y'all are gonna make Miss Ashynne crash out. You feel me? Like, y'all gonna make me crash out, okay? And he's been one of the only ones that's like, May. And I'm like, thank you. Because you just saved Miss Ashynne a crash out party. Because literally, and they did it all this last week. Like, I'm not even playing every single day of this last week. They didn't know. And then they would start saying, days of the week. And I have to remind them, listen to my question. Like, what did Miss Ashlynne ask? Because they know the months of the year. Like, if I say, what's the month? They may say Sunday. They may say Monday. They may start shouting out numbers and letters, okay? But then if I say, sing the days of the week, or no, sing the month of the year song, they know their month of the year. So I have to start asking it differently. And I'm like, y'all are gonna make Miss Ashynne crash out. But he's been carrying my class, like literally carrying them. Carrying the older kids, because he's literally a year younger than all of them. Like, literally carrying them. And I'm like, thank you, because you are literally saving Miss Ashynne and her mind right now. I literally told them on Friday, I said, y'all are making me so sad. I was like, why? And I'm like, because I thought I had the smartest class here. And they're like, we are smart. I'm like, and I'm like, but yeah, how are we changing and going worse? Like, how are we not answering Miss Ashynne's question? Like, I just don't get it. And I probably will say, like, I am being a little harder on them with it being the end of the year, because I feel like their minds are just like worn out. I feel like they all are definitely feeling it being the end of the year as much as I am. So I do understand it, but I'm like, get your lives together. Like, even this week is the last week of curriculum. It's the last week I'm going to be there. It's the last week 2 of my other kids are going to be there. And then the rest of them, I think it's either the end of May, so like 1.5 more weeks, or maybe just 1 more week. And then the rest of them are staying throughout the summer. But I'm like, y'all better get your lives together. Because in kindergarten, you got to keep going and keep going and keep going. You got to keep going and keep going and keep going, keep learning and keep learning, like all the things. But I did tell them this week we would do surprises, because at the beginning of the year, I baked for them and did so many fun things. Like, I feel like I was so much more outgoing, because recently I've just been dealing with so much behavior things. It's really hard to like keep the fun. And so each day this week, I'm going to figure out today what I'm gonna do, what little things we're gonna do, and really try to make it a fun week, even though it's been so hard on me. Like, part of me doesn't even wanna do stuff, because 2 boys in particular have just been terrible, like worse than normal, and it's really hard to deal with them, as well as like all my other kids. And then it's hard for me to give the ones that are like really good every single day attention when I'm having to give so much attention to the other ones. So it's a whole ordeal, you feel me? It's just teachers at the end of the year type stuff. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions about my pre-K class, where I got my gifts from, or even just like what's going on with my promotion. I'm calling it a promotion. I'm calling it I'm quitting. I'm calling all the things. Like, Miss Ashynne's just done. I'm playing it out for real. But I'm calling it all these things more for clickbait than anything, because I'm going to be straight up with y'all. But I am moving to the other center, and it's going to be so crazy not even going to this center like at all. Like, I will be the other center completely. It's mainly just me moving right now. Like at the start, because we don't have a ton of kids. And so it's literally gonna be me there Monday through Friday, and I'm never going to the other center, like, unless I go out of my way to go to the other center, which is crazy, because I've worked with these people since they've started. I mean, Miss Judy's been there since the beginning. Miss Kate's been there for a really long time. Miss Aubrey's been there for a really long time. A lot of the other workers have been there over a year or about a year. There's some new ones, but And so it's gonna be so weird to not see them every day, not to see my other kids, the kids that aren't leaving until August. Like, it's just gonna be crazy. Part of me is really sad and part of me is so happy. I think the change is gonna be really good for me because I've just been feeling it. Being out of college a year and not necessarily being where I want to be is just really hitting hard right now. But I have made such an impact in all these kids' lives. Like, the way I've been their constant throughout this whole year has been such a blessing, I know, to them and their parents and to me. And we've all grown together. Like, even though I may not look very different than last August and they look a lot more different, we've all learned and grown so much throughout this year. And I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to be the pre-K teacher for a year. And I feel like I am such a better teacher now. I'm such a better, like, daycare worker and all the things. And I don't know that I'm gonna do this forever, but if I did, it would definitely be a blessing. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.